Welcome everybody. Today's video finds us over here in Ayutthaya. And right now I'm standing in front of a little known temple. We're standing right here in front of Wat Chom Seng. And what we're going to do today is we're going to walk around. There's the historical park here, and there's a bunch of little temples and stuff like that out amongst the trees right next to two of the most famous temples here, Wat Burmese and Wat Mahahat. So let's take a look at some of these little temples and just kind of enjoy the day. So this is the little temple, and it's just a ruin. So you would have had the ordination hall right here, and then there's a seated Buddha, and then you can see the bell-shaped Chedi. And I have no idea when this was built. These are just ruins that are out amongst the trees. There's houses and stuff like that here. And you can see the temple moat and part of the wall. And it's kind of an unknown temple that nobody comes over here to see. And the kids are over here yelling at me, hello, and they're playing with the ball. So let's look at this little Buddha, and then we'll walk into the little historical park. They're yelling, hello, my friend. So you can see the little pillars that were right here, and then the outer wall of the building. And then it has what's left of a Buddha, and the head is gone. And you can see part of the sandstone images that are all around. And it's in bad shape. The Chedi itself, the outer part of it is kind of sloughed off. And you can see the circular base and all the way up there. And then the top of the spire is gone also. And they don't really maintain this anymore. It used to have, they built these right here to shine lights on them, because right over there is the road that goes between Wat Mahahat and Wat Ratchaburna. And then there's all the little walking park over there. So let's cross over that road and we'll walk around. You can see the old moat that was around here. We'll cross over the road and we'll just wander around through over here and see what we see. How cool is that? So this is all the little park. And they have all these little parts of the canals and little footbridges and stuff like that. So let's take a look here at this Wat Lang Ka Khao. There's not much left of it. It's all the way down to the base. But this would have been the ordination hall here on the east. And then there would have probably been a wee han on the other side on the west. And then you can see the octagonal base. And then you can see it goes up to the spire. And the top of the spire has most of the plaster, but it's kind of sloughed off. And that's like a bell up there. And it looks like the relic chamber is open. I can see the pigeons and stuff hanging out here. So you can actually stick your head in there. You can see where the locals have come over and put the flowers and the Fanta. And it just smells like bats now. Not much to see. There's nothing in there. You see where they've plastered over and put some bricks on that back wall. So there would have been something in here at one time. This is about as good a look as you can get of it here. Get away from that sun. And so that hall's over there, and there would have been probably another one over here. And this isn't too far from the Grand Palace, where the old Grand Palace used to be, which is way up there. And then the old Laburi River comes across right to the north. And you can see all the little canals and stuff. And just temples just scattered out amongst the trees. And then it has these cool little wooden bridges. All right, let's go over to the next temple. Looks like two temples are this way. And there is like another small temple over there, Wat Nok, and a few others. So over here, this must have been where the canals came together back in the day. And we got a guy over here doing some fishing. And some more over there. Let's take a look at this one here. This right here is Wat Lang Ka Dome. You can see this one here, they had it set up for the lights to shine on it also. We have a little bit of one of the halls. This is the little ordination hall. You can see where they would have had the marker stones around it. And it would have been a small hall, but it would have been shaped like a boat in the middle. And then they would have had another room right here. Not sure if it would have had a balcony, but you can see the little walkway. And this one had just two windows on the side, and then the cool looking Chedi. Same, the top is missing off of this one here also. Let's stick our heads inside of it. Yeah, this would have been nice. So you would have seen it had 6 columns inside here to support the roof. And it would have had 2 windows. I've seen halls like this before with the 2 windows on the sides and the 1 door. And they're pretty small, but they're pretty cool looking. And then up here would have had the Buddha. And you can see where they've came back in and tried to restore it, put this wood up in the windows. And at one time they had a tree growing up here. They've cut it back to keep it from collapsing down. Yeah, this is nice. The walls are actually pretty thick. They're a couple feet thick. They would have had a couple smaller chetties. This is a pretty cool style here with the 12 indented corners. And you can see here, this is Ayutthaya styling also with the octagonal base and the bell shape at the top. And another part of the chetty that would have been right there. So 3 would have been on this side. And you can see how that's wavy over there from all the settling. And there would have been a hall probably over on this side here. Now over there is like a newer temple. That's a resting place for if any of the royals come here. They can use that building over there. How cool is that? So that's Wat Phra Ram. That's one of the temples you can go to is like the temple tour package. There's 6 temples. Wat Mahahat, Wat Bur Ram, and Wat Mayong, and a couple others that are part of that 6th temple, the Wat Sisampet, and they're pretty cool to see. So this is Wat Sangko Pat, and there's not a lot left here. Just kind of an interesting little chetty. And then they have a part of the Buddha over here, but there's nothing else really left here. It's just trees on this little island. And we'll try to make our way over there to that little island and see that temple. Not sure how to go. Big old bird. Okay, so I found my way over here to this one here. So this is Wat Phong, P-H-O-N-G is how it's spelled. So this would have been an interesting chetty here. Looks to me like it would have been more of a Chiang Rai styling up at the top. And then it had a couple smaller little chetties around. And then it would have had the ordination hall over here also. Yeah, and you would have had the figures standing right there. And a couple small chetties here to the west of it. And they had it set up here also for the lights, but those aren't in use anymore. Looks like at one time they had little data plates. I just saw a squirrel run over there. So you can see one of the standing figures right there. And it would have had its hand out, probably in like the dispelling fear pose. There would have been a couple small chetties here, and then the outer wall, and then you would have came into this ordination hall right here. And it would have had a covered walkway around it. You can see the columns over there. This one would have been a little bit bigger than those others we've looked at. But it's just down to the base, not much to see. Just the prong, and you can see that other one over there. Looks like one of the roads here. A little bit of it on the side here. And then you can see that we had the canals that went around the temples, all the moats. And there would have just been temples and houses and everything all in here. And lots of people on the canals and boats. Would have been quite cool to see. That's what you get on Thailand whenever they have a bus. Over there playing some loud music. Got a guy over here fishing. Mai mi blah. Got his little bobber out there. He's dug up some worms here. So we're over to the east of Wat Mahahat now. You can see a few little chetties. And there's a bridge over here where I guess 2 of the Thai kings, or 2 of the sons of the Thai king, had a duel here to see who would take over. And they both ended up dying. And the 3rd brother ended up taking over as the king. And this is Wat Mahahat. I've done a couple of videos from there. We're not going to go in there today. I want to look at this bridge and then we'll walk back through and see some of the smaller temples. You can see that big crowd right over there. That is where the Buddha face is inside of that banyan tree. So you can see that tree growing on the wall. And then on the other side, they placed a sandstone Buddha head inside of it, and it's kind of grown around. This is the most famous and the most popular temple. And then you can see that prong right over there. That's Wat Ratchaburna, which is fantastic. It's really, really nice. Wat Sisampet is in this area. It's probably the nicest one. But this one here, I think Wat Mahahat's the biggest. And Wat Ratchaburna has the biggest like hall and with a cool prong. But everybody's over there taking pictures, doing their thing. You can see the outer wall here and the ruins inside. This used to have a humongous chetty that collapsed. And I've seen some pictures of it before it collapsed, which would have been pretty cool if it was still intact. Over here, this is where the bridge is at. Right over there is Wat Ratchaburna. And then there would have been a chetty here. And back in the day, this would have been a canal, but it's all filled in now. But this is the site of what used to be a bridge. And I guess the two brothers fought. They were wanting to see who was going to be the king, and they died from their injuries, both of them. And that's just right here next to it, this big, huge temple ruin. Yeah, you can actually go inside the relic chamber at that temple. We're not going to do it today. I'm out here just walking around through the park, but you can see the area that it's in. Over here's where you buy a ticket to go in here. Now, if you come to this temple, I would recommend coming first thing in the morning before the crowds get too big, because you will be in amongst everybody taking pictures. And it's like 50 baht to go in and just see this, or if you buy the whole package, it's like 220. That's good for 30 days, I think, for all 6 of the temples. Check this out right here, though. This is Wat Mahahat. You can see the Khmer style prong right there. And then you can see that humongous prong over there for Wat Ratchaburna. You can see some of the others. Now what this is right here, this is a separate temple completely. This is Wat Nok, which is like the temple, like the bird temple. You got 2 people over here looking at it. Let's go inside and look at this. This would have been the ordination hall. You can see how thick the walls would have been. So these would have been about 1.5 feet thick. It had 2 doors. You come in here, and then over there would have been the place for the monks. And then they would have had the pedestal. This is kind of interesting because you would have been able to go up onto the little stage right there in front of the main image. And then there would have been some more seated around. And you see how they would have had that like plaster, and that would have been like a lotus flower right at the top where it would have went to the ceiling. And then let's look, you can go into the relic chamber here also. You can see the little sandstone Buddhas. Now what they did is a lot of them came over here and they vandalized these after the fall of Ayutthaya. They came over and they cut the heads of them off. There was quite a bit of that happened. So you have some pretty steep stairs, and you can see up into the relic chamber. Yeah, their stairs are 1 brick wide. So we're right up here at the top. You can see they would have had an image sitting in there, and it smells like guano. You can smell the bats, and I can see the bird's nests and stuff. You can see they had pedestals here, and a little bit of the wall that's left of it. And then we can see how the chetty looked. They would have had kind of that little faux front that's kind of common in the Khmer styling. And above the relic chamber would have had another little prong. And how cool is that? You see the standing Buddha right there. And those would have been Naga and everything else, all the other parts of the Buddha imagery. You can see what's left. You can actually see some of the details here. So they probably came in and fixed this up in the last 20 years or so, to where you get an idea of what it would have looked like. This one's in the best shape out of all of them. And it is a separate temple from this. So you can see it right after you look at the main temple. And this is looking back out into that park. let's keep on walking through. I eventually want to make it over there to Wat Phra Ram. Yeah, this is so cool. A good time is either early in the morning to come out and do this or in the evening. But there is a lot of people here right now, so probably the early morning would be the best. Let's see the little bridge over the canal. And there's all kinds of stuff up amongst the trees here. Looks like a Buddha over here next to an old chetty that the tree is overtaken. And you can see at one time that was a chetty. And now it's just a big tree. And they have a Buddha here. They have a little shrine here to the goddess of the earth. She's wringing her hair and she floods the world. They have a little park here. This right here is called the Ayutthaya Mahaprasad. Pretty cool with that sun glinting off the silver. And I'm not sure what it's about. There's a little data plate here that's in Thai, but I don't know, it's pretty faded. I don't know what it says. Way up there, that is what, Sisampet. And then a really, really cool temple right there. And that's our destination where we're gonna walk, is Phra Ram. Really a nice area. You see some lilies that are growing out there. This is Phra Thi Nang Yen. This is the place for the royals to come over here and relax. It's always locked up, so you can just see it from the outside. It's a modern building, but it looks like they built it on the base of an old hall. And then right up here is the Phra Ram. And then there's another little temple out here on this island. And I'm not sure if you can get to it. You can't get to it from this side. You'd have to get to it from the main road over there. Here you can see what it looks like. Interesting enough, which is kind of plain being all white. And then right over here is the last thing we'll look at. Wat Phra Ram. So here it is. I don't know if we'll be able to see it. That sun is kind of in a bad spot. So you can see the ordination hall and then that Khmer style prong. And this one is a huge ruin. And it's part of the tour. So this one and Wat Sisampet is right over there. And Wat Burna Ram and Wat Mahahat. So 4 of the 6 pei are right here next to each other. And a good way to go, I was just talking to this tuk-tuk driver, and he could take you all around. You can see right through there, there's the relic chamber. Yeah, this one is a fun one to go see. And there's a little bit more around over that way. That's going to finish up our video over here in Ayutthaya in the historical park. This is pretty fun to do. This is the minor sites. You can just walk around here for free. You can ride a bike, however you want to go around here. But you can just kind of wander around at your own pace and see all of this stuff. Plus you're right here amongst all the major ruins. And you're definitely going to want to check those out. But you know, if you want to see something that most people don't go see, then this is a great way to do it. I've done another walking tour of all of the ruins that are kind of on the south of the island, but these are right in the center. So I'll probably pin a comment to that one if you want to see some more of those ruins. And anyway, if you enjoyed the video, definitely smash the like button. If you have any questions or comments, most of these ruins, there's nothing really posted about them, so I don't know a whole lot about them. I'll try to research them the best I can and find any information, and I'll put it down in the video description, whatever I can find. But when you're just walking around here, you just see all the bricks, but you can kind of enjoy it anyway. So anyway, if you know more, leave me a comment, tell me what you think. If you've been here, let me know also. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. It's free and easy to do. It helps the channel grow. Plus, you're notified whenever I post a new video. And from over here in Ayutthaya, remember, life is a journey. So until next time, enjoy.